welcome to Ticker Talk for Wednesday, March 29th. So as I'm sure you know, everything we do here is for educational purposes only. We are not investment advisors and do not provide investment advice. All investment decisions are your own and done at your own risk. I am Kevin D in the Discord, been trading for a long time. You can read all about me right here if you want. If you're watching the recording, go ahead, smash that like button for me. It really helps us out. All right, let's get right into this. So you guys know what to do. If you got a ticker you want to look at, you can just unmute. You can talk to me in the chat, whatever you like to do. Shall I flip a coin to see who goes first? Justin,
I yield to Justin. So,
all right, what's up, you guys?
How's it going? What's going on?
Yeah, I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, we missed you, man.
Thanks. So I guess I have a couple.
Okay.
I have, first of all, COTY.
Okay.
So this is one that you brought up way back, well, not way back in the day, but a little while back now.
Yeah, and, I have traded this a number of times over the years.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I've had 2 successful trades on it already.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I wanted to bring it up today because there's I wanted to see if there was like possibly another play, because it's, I think, around 1166 level. To me, it looks like it kind of broke out of that resistance level right there. Or I marked 1166 as a resistance level, and
yeah, okay.
And it just looks like it wants to keep going up. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. My only thing is it didn't have that much volume when it shot up above it.
Right.
But
that is a concern. Volume is dropping off here. Okay, so you marked up. You're basically marking that level right there. So that was 1165 on my chart. So close enough, 66, 65. It's interesting. I mean, you know, this trend line, I don't remember when the last time we looked at it. I guess looked at it somewhere around here, maybe when it was building this consolidation. That it had the fake breakout. Didn't go down too far. It didn't even tag the 50-day moving average. And it's coming back up again. But look how it's being restrained by the trend line. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, obviously it's broken out to new highs here above this level. I imagine that's like an all-time high, or definitely it's or not an all-time high, but definitely a 3-year high. So that's pretty good. But like you said, volume is dropping off. In the last day or two, I got a new indicator that I got to show you guys or explain to you guys. It's really simple though. You have seen these charts, right? Where I do the relative strength chart, and that's this pane down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like to do this, for COTY, I gotta type in, you know, basically 2 symbols every time I want to do it, right? And then it gives me this graph. And I've just been shocked the whole time I've been using eSignal, shocked that it doesn't actually do this. You can't do this on a pane in your chart, like right here. And just yesterday, I like randomly ran into this. As I was looking at it for a different indicator, and discovered that I can now have it as part of my charts. So this is like such an important thing for me in the way I trade, that to actually have it on the chart is really awesome. So what this is showing us is COTY relative to SPY, relative to the market. So when this line is going up, obviously COTY is outperforming the market. And if this line is going down, then it is underperforming the market. So you can see on like an intermediate term basis, obviously it's outperforming the market quite nicely. It had that little pullback, no big deal there. And see how just in the last 2 days, it's just sort of started to roll over. It's kind of like, you know, it's showing a little bit of loss of momentum here relative to the market. So that's kind of interesting, right? And I think when you combine that with this declining volume as it's moving up, it's kind of all red flags. And I bet you if we go over and look at the RSI right now, I would be shocked if there isn't an RSI divergence going on as well. Look at that. I swear we did not set this up.
You knew what you were doing, Kevin.
Well, you know, I mean, I've looked at charts and RSI long enough to kind of be able to look at a couple other clues and see that it's losing momentum. So yeah, here, I'll just draw this in the way I normally do. Whoops, that's not the way I normally do. There we go. So yeah, you can see here, when we had this high here, right, we put in this high on RSI, and ever since then, it's actually been kind of in divergence. Like, so when it made this high here, which is definitely higher than these highs here, you can see that RSI is lower, and now that it's making, you know, new highs again, and RSI is even lower than the last high and the high before that. So this is what I would call a fairly serious divergence. Even though we are seeing lots of divergences lately on charts, this one is quite serious because it's been going on for a while. It hasn't been able to work it off. I think if you combine that with the volume, you know, clearly we're in declining volume. Wow, that's going, whoops, that's going up, and that's generally not ideal. And then, you know, the relative strength of the market, we're seeing the lack of the slowing momentum there. You know, we can look at the MACD and it probably tells us the same, well, not quite the same story, actually. So the MACD is actually looking okay. So we're getting basically a lot of conflicting information.
Right.
So, if I were you having just entered this, I would want to have a super tight stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you enter like Monday?
No, I didn't enter it at all. I just wanted to. I was just wondering because I've traded it twice before, but I felt like the attitude was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
good eye on that because this is what's going on right now. A little bit out of character for it.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like I was getting a little biased on it since I had successful, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring it up today because, you know, maybe I was just overreacting. I would have maybe considered trying to get in, maybe on a pullback or maybe even some more because it didn't shoot up that much, is what I was thinking, or it didn't like in the last 3 days.
It hasn't gone up. You know, yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised. This is probably about one ATR since it broke out. You can see here an ATR on this is 2.69%. So if we measure that, so from the breakout, which I guess is about the bottom of the body on that candle, to the high today, yeah, it's not even an ATR to the high. It's 2.32%. From where it broke out to the high today, over 3 days. But an ATR is what it does in a normal day, right? So if it's breaking out and it's not going up much and volume is actually declining, that is, you know, classic failed breakout. That doesn't mean that it couldn't get some catalyst tomorrow and just like, you know, and get a big candle, you know, like it did one of these, right?
Right.
But, you know, I wouldn't bet on that. What I'd want to see is, you know, an in character kind of move. And I see another one here that we didn't mark up last time. You know, but that in character move is a fairly lengthy sideways consolidation that's fairly tight, and then a nice move up. and you can see that it's done that a number of times. Well, I mean, this is a little bit different here, I guess, this first move up. But you see what I mean, right? I mean, you go sideways for a number of days, and it's really nicely sideways usually. And then it goes up. And then that changed here when it broke out and it didn't actually make a big move and then rolled over. There's your, your first sign of your change of character that I'm sure you noticed.
Yeah.
And then it didn't have a clean sideways move in here, right? Look at, you had, you came down and sure, put in a double bottom, but it had this little sort of island reversal, a one-day island reversal there. So yeah, a lot of weird kind of out of character stuff going on in here. So this sort of says that this needs to either get back into this pattern where it just goes sideways for a bit. And I mean, and it can certainly go sideways right off of this here, right?
Right.
And maybe that's what this is right now. This is the beginning of that sideways consolidation, and then you can buy the break out of that. But I would want to see at least 2 more days inside this little box. Maybe even like 4 more days inside this little box before I would play this.
Right. Well, cool. I'm glad I didn't jump to it. I almost did because it hit my alert. I had alert on, and but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
Good. I'm glad you weren't feeling it. And this is just a good time to be. I mean, breakout trading has been really difficult for a while, but especially in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
The failure rate has just been so high. I mean, I've still been taking them, but I've been taking them with tiny size. Taking them with the quarter of my normal size. Because one day they will start working again. And, so you want to make sure you're in them, but you also want to make sure you're not losing a bunch of money while you're waiting for them to start working again.
Right. So, okay, well, cool. Yeah, hopefully that one gives us a setup down the line. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and let me know if it, if it does go sideways and looks like it's gonna get ready to break out again. Let me know.
Okay, I'll set an alert either way. If it goes down, I'll set an alert for if it breaks out to the downside or the upside, and we'll see.
Okay.
The next one is, so I took a trade that from the weekend, a setup that you recommended or that you brought up on the weekend update.
Oh, cool.
Workday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it broke out today, so I was wanting to see.
So you took it today?
Yeah, I took it at, let's see which candle. 1-9. I would say if you're looking at a 5-minute chart, the 9th candle over. So my time, it's 7:10 my time, which is Pacific Standard Time.
So 10:10.
Yeah.
Right before the big green candle.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
And
nice.
I followed the whole 15-minute range.
Yes.
Yeah. So. And then I got a little scared when it pulled back right away, and I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah. But that kind of pullback shouldn't really scare you much.
Yeah, because it did. I was watching for the VWAP. I think it was more emotional than anything. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time in that situation, you would expect VWAP to support, and it kind of didn't really.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of got to look where it's come from, right? I mean, it came up so much in a fairly short amount of time because that was a fairly big move. By the way, I'm in this. I got in on this candle here.
Oh, nice. Right in the beginning of the day.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't wait for the I didn't wait for the entire 50-minute range or anything like that. I just sort of liked it. I saw that it was breaking that level, and I actually saw that I liked that it broke out above this, right? Because we go back to the daily, you can kind of look here and you can see, you could get an early entry out of this off of all these basically these 4 highs here, right?
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that.
basically gives you an early entry, right? Basically at the open.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I did want a couple of candles to go by to make sure. But once this started to, so it opened, it came down a little bit, and then it had this inside candle. Once we got above this right here, the open, the high of the opening candle, that's when I went in, which was right about here.
Nice.
So yeah, you were in here. What?
So I gotta check what I got it at. Yeah, my trading view is not connected to my TD Ameritrade, so I have to like open my TD Ameritrade to check what I got it at. But I got it at 193. 193.25.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the beginning of this candle, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, like totally at the low of that candle too.
Actually, no, sorry. 193. 193.35.
Cool.
Yeah, because it closed at 198.25. I read the wrong cents.
Right at the low of that candle.
Yeah.
That's a nice entry there. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Cool. And you can see where I've got my stop, or at least the alert for my stop is right there. I moved it up to there fairly early in the day after it did this pullback, and then it started going sideways up in here.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a half decent gain in this. Like I could stop out now with a couple of bucks.
Right.
And just the way this market is, I thought, you know what, because normally I would be under here, or it probably actually would have gone looser and been under here. But just because I don't trust anything right now, I wanted to move it up into making a profit as soon as possible. However, look at, I mean, we closed right on the high. So, this bodes well for tomorrow in this, as long as the market's okay. As long as the market doesn't freak out about GDP in the morning, I do expect this to make another nice move higher tomorrow.
Cool. Well, there you go.
You can see, going back to my relative strength, you can see that for quite a while, since this consolidation here in January, this has been outperforming the market. And you can see that outperformance took a little bit of a steep turn up today. So I like it. And then we'll go look at RSI on this. I think there's enough time has passed since these highs that we don't have to worry so much about this RSI divergence. And you can see that RSI is now higher than, these highs, these most recent highs. So that's all good then, right?
I see.
But there is, if you go back all the way to here, there is the tiniest bit of divergence there.
Right.
We can totally ignore that one.
Okay.
So yeah, well done. Good job.
Thank you.
Had you yeah, I think you mentioned you sent an alert there, and then I guess you got to look at it pretty quick. And
I did. I know. I woke up and I was like, I think in the last month I've haven't really traded any of like the setups I've found. I think I've only really taken 2 or 3 trades, and it's been from the weekend videos.
Okay.
Just to kind of be active, but I mean, next month I want to hopefully find more. And also, with the way of the market, I'm not really trusting like sometimes the ones I find, because a lot of the ones I trade are the ones that aren't the ones that usually work out as well.
Right.
Yeah, trying to get better at screening stocks, I guess. Finding the ones that are like worth my time, sifting through them is a little bit. Yeah,
that's important. And like, so the thing for you to do then is to look at the ones that work. Like this one, assuming this one works, it's working so far, and it made a really nice move out of there. So look at this and say, okay, so what's different about this one than maybe some of the other ones that you've been finding that haven't been working?
Okay.
And I think that one of the things that's different, and I'm noticing, in some of the ones that I'm noticing too, in a lot of the ones that work, They're not necessarily at all-time highs like this, or actually, I shouldn't say all-time highs. I don't. Yeah, this is definitely not all-time highs, but this is, this is definitely a one-year high in here. I think. Oh, not even almost. Okay, yeah, not until May. All right, so it's like a 10-month high. But they're not necessarily. They don't have to be, breaking out of that. They can pull back a little bit and consolidate and then break out, and that's fine. But what I'm noticing is we're getting, you get a move up and you get a number of touches at a resistance, and you pull back and maybe get another touch, pull back some more touches at resistance, and then eventually it goes, right? So
Right.
a lot of attempts to get through there. When it does finally get through, it really goes. And that's sort of been my observation of the ones that are working lately.
Okay. So just a lot of touch points
Yeah,
on the level, basically.
yeah, and which means that a lot of faking people out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could look at this right here as a consolidation, not a bad consolidation, right? And it gives you an early entry, but then it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You probably could have made some pennies on this. Well, I mean, there's still a few bucks in that. If you had bought the gap up, thinking, okay, this is going to go, and then the following day when it closes lower, it goes up a little bit. If that starts pulling back and then goes below the open, you would just stop out that following day.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
Sure.
and a half, 189, and so you could have got a buck out of that. That's at least you're getting paid for your effort there.
Right.
But it sucks that it completely failed.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for that.
Oh, I wanted to. Yeah, speaking of failed, there's another one that I took this morning. I kind of didn't look back. Yeah, okay.
Oh, was it Jerry D's in the Discord?
Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah.
like he had found this one. So look at this, right? This is the kind of pattern I'm talking about.
Right.
Where you've got this nice flat top. So I mean, this is why I liked it when he pointed it out. It's like, okay, yeah, this is perfect. This is the kind that's working.
Right.
You got that nice flat top, and you get a number of tries on it. You get your pullbacks. It keeps going up. It keeps trying. It goes up. We consolidated really tight here, and when it went, I thought, okay, yeah, this is going to go for sure. So I jumped in right away. And then when you look intraday, after I just again, this is another one that I jumped in really early. I jumped in, I think, on the second candle of the day here, somewhere around. I got out, yeah, right around here. 2454. Yes, I remember now. It was exactly 2454. So right there. And it goes up, it comes back a little bit, it goes up, comes back, and it just starts doing this sideways consolidation. And I'm like, so I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that daily chart and going, this should really have gone, like Workday did, right? This should have really made a move, and instead it's doing this. And it's like, screw it, I'm out of here. And I got out on this green candle right here, right before the big red one. My timing was outstanding, and that was just luck. I mean, I saw this candle. It goes up a little bit, and it starts to pull back, and I'm like, nah, this isn't going to happen. And so I bailed.
Nice. Yeah, and it has that consolidation. It looks like it's drooping now. It's like wah wah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And and that's what I was seeing too. And I was looking at it as it's forming, right?
Right.
At first I'm going, okay, look at all, we got buying wicks here. It's tagging the 21 period moving average. Okay. And then it's like, by this one, when it goes up and pulls back again, I'm like, it just can't get up there. And I'm like, no, done. And it was doing hardly any volume in here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny though. That's funny. I would have looked around, did anyone see that? Because that's awesome. I did a day trade, an actual day trade. Usually, I've done every time I talk about intraday stuff, it's usually entering a long position.
Right.
But on the news of AMC, I guess I scalped it, which is not my usual thing.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
The Amazon news.
Yeah. I saw that everyone was talking about it. I saw it on like Instagram, like, and I know you guys were even talking about it in the Discord. But I just wanted, this is the first time I've really tried to do a scalp trade. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you.
Cool.
See what you thought. So let's see. Those three big candles on that breakout, or when it really starts to shoot up?
Yeah.
And then it has that red candle right after, right?
Yeah.
I bought it. I don't know if you can see the candle right after that. The wick touches the VWAP. And I was trying to catch it when it hit that, but I ended up buying it towards the middle of that candle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got in maybe like at 5. I think my price was like 5.15.
Right.
And then I kind of just held it, and then I put an automatic order to sell at like 5.40, 5.48.
Cool.
And I just held it, and then I wasn't sure if it was like a good trade or anything, or if this is like, but I saw that VWAP held it, and then eventually I just watched it, and that one candle, that wick barely touches 5.40, I think 5.50 even.
5.50, yeah.
Yeah, but that's when and then I got a good little, let's see, I don't know, maybe like 6%, 5%, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's very small. And then I'm like, man, I should have traded there. Like, that's when you're like,
oh yeah, but you know what? I mean, if this had gone the other way,
I know.
if it had done these three candles right after you bought it, you'd have been glad you went small.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, I just wanted to see like what your thoughts were on my choices I made, I guess. And then, sorry, real quick, my plan was just to sell it if it fell below the VWAP, by the way. That was my stop that I had in my head. Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I mean, obviously, you missed it because it takes time for this news to get through to you and everything. So you saw the big red candle, you saw the pullback, and this starts to pull back, comes to VWAP, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's bouncing off VWAP. Let's get in. That's good. I mean, that's you thought out that entry in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then. Yeah, and you managed to stick with it too, even though you were taking some heat. Managed to stick with it. You also noticed that it was bouncing off of VWAP, which helps you stick with it. That's great. And then, so what made you come up? Why did you come up with 5.50 or 5.48?
It was. I just thought it was close. Well, on my chart, I have like on the VWAP, the averages outside of it. You have your VWAP line.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought it was a number that was like a good psychological number, which was 5.50, and it seemed to be kind of close to that blue line.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know, it was more arbitrary than anything. I just knew this, like that first wick on the initial breakout.
Yeah.
Was on my chart, it's 5.37, and I was like, 5.48 isn't that far away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. No,
that's because it was a psychological number, and I just figured, I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, 5.50 is an important psychological level, and this had basically come. If you look at this earlier in the day, right? It had basically come from 4.50. Right. So anybody who was in here buying it early in the day, when it gets to 5.50, they're like, well, I got $1 in that now, so
yeah.
they're probably thinking about taking that even dollar out of it, and that's 5.50. And then 5.50 is one of those levels. It's just that nice round number. So yeah, good thinking, and good thinking to put your order like 2 cents below that.
Yeah. I figured that was.
you know, it traded at. Actually, I wonder if we can see how many trades were there. I mean, it traded at 550, but it may have only traded there once, right?
Right, right.
We can actually look and see.
Actually, I learned that from you, Kevin. You, you know, don't always do.
Right.
You mentioned before to kind of just do a little bit off of the number you want. I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
Oh wait, it's not going to let me get that granular on it. Maybe it'll let me do 50 ticks. 550. Yeah, there it is, right there. Okay, yeah, I traded there for a few seconds. But look at it. I mean, you know, there's like
Right.
1, 2, 3 trades there over the course of, so that's 46.13. Yeah, 1 second.
Wow.
1 second, and it touched 553 times.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Thank you. I was surprised. I was like, I kind of half didn't believe it would work.
Yeah, yeah.
Just, you know, because I feel like in this learning stage that I'm in, I'm open to trying new things, and even though I have like a main sort of approach, which is buying breakouts and stuff, long-term consolidations, like, I don't know. I'm just rambling, but yeah, I was really surprised it worked.
That's awesome. And you know what? I mean, you probably would have had a hard time manually trading out of this at 48, because it was only from the first time it touched 48 to the last time. That's only 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And it fell pretty quick after that. That's awesome. Well done.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I mean, that's it for me, Kevin. I mean, I do have a position in AMD that I exited. I ended up exiting it. It just took my profits today, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was all out of that. I've been out for a few days. I don't remember exactly when I fully, actually, here, I've got it right here. Sorry, bear with me 1 sec. The 24th. Is it that day? No, this day. Yeah, I closed out the last of the position here on this day. So that would have been like last Friday.
Oh, wow.
All out of there. It just like it lost momentum, and it started having selling wicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I was really on guard. So I was already out of half the position by this day, I think. On this pull, when it started to do this pullback here, I exited a second quarter of the position. So on this day, when it got all indecisive, I was only in it for half. And then when it opened down, when it gapped down, I'm like, nah, this is no good. It's going to roll over. I'm out. So I bailed in the morning that day.
Yeah, I was having second thoughts too, but I guess I just wanted to believe that it was going to go up, but which is probably a bad habit, you know.
Well, you know, and it might, but you know, I'm glad you got out today, because if you look at like SMH, look at the day SMH had, right? The semiconductor ETF had a hammer the day before, had a nice gap up, and a really good day, and closed on the highs today. And if you compare that with AMD, right? I mean, it's night and day in there.
Right.
And same with NVIDIA, because NVIDIA and AMD had been like really tightly correlated on this latest leg up. Come on, NVIDIA, let's go. Wow, we seem a little frozen up here. Okay, but let's look at the reason that SMH went up so much. Micron, who had earnings yesterday, and you know, it gapped up really nicely, and it went up all day. So this looks sort of more like SMH, right?
Right.
usually with these semis, you know, when one is going up nicely, a lot of the other ones follow. And, you know, so that didn't happen in those guys. See if we can get NVIDIA. There we go. See, NVIDIA had a little bit of a gap up and a little bit of an up day, but it was only up like 2%. Which isn't really that much for this stock. And, you know, it's showing slowing momentum in here too. So I don't know. I think that, you know, it'd be cool if this based here for a little bit longer. Then it might give us something playable. But I don't think we can really play it off of what we're seeing right now. Although there is this trend line though. So yeah, I don't think NVIDIA is dead, and I don't think AMD is dead either. I just think that there's potential trouble or just more sideways ahead on those two for a bit.
Right. Yeah, I've gotten burned a couple times on semiconductors, so like not my favorite to trade.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're volatile.
Yeah.
You know, look at the ETF in there, right?
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Oh, choppy. It's just all over. Like this is just this kind of price action is just stock killer.
Yeah.
You know, you get in, you have a nice move, and then you pull back a lot, and you know it whacks your stop. Well, actually, it's not really enough, but it's enough to whack your stops. And yeah, so they are hard to trade, and that's one of the that's one of the reasons that I got out fairly quickly out of that AMD trade.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I wonder if we should probably give Marvin a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No, y'all good. Y'all keep going. Cause I didn't. I've kind of was been paying half attention to what's going on in the market this week. So I kind of been just focused on doing a lot of stuff work wise. I know I've been watching Baba for a second, and then of course the breakout happened yesterday because of the news. So I was like, oh, really? And at this point, you know, I'm like, well, I don't really know how to necessarily play big jumps like that, except for, waiting to see what happens, you know. So,
right.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, Bob is not an easy stock to trade.
Nope, because it's super volatile too. So
it's the field of disappointments here.
I feel like it just doesn't give you any signals, any good signals. Or like it'll tease you with like a tight consolidation somewhere. I don't know. It just sometimes it feels random to me.
I mean, like it came close. So like the last, if you look recent, like within the last week, a couple of weeks or so, like it started to kind of,
right,
do really look like it's going to move, or it's just getting close. But that news just made it go boom. Just no respect to technicals, like.
I mean, this was telling us that something might be up.
Yeah.
Would you have been able, if you had been watching Baba, Kevin, would you have been able to maybe catch that gap up? Like, is there a way you could do that? Because for me, I'm just not that good yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that gap.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I'm not that good neither. And I was going to ask the same question, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically have a rule that I can't buy a gap that's more than an ATR. And this gap, if I remember correctly, was about 15%. And the ATR is about 4%. So, yeah, that would just be no-go. That would just sort of violate my rules. So the gap actually started here to the open. Okay, so it's only 11% to the open. Nonetheless, that's almost 3 ATRs. But what you could do if you really wanted to get in this, and again, I should actually say I have a position. I've had a position in Baba forever, which I am about even on.
That's good.
So, but what you could do if you really wanted to get in on this, it gaps up and then it pulls back, right? Now look where it pulls back to, right at these two moving averages.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when it starts moving away from that, you got to think that okay, like there are people buying this off the 200-day moving average. It's just too close there to be totally coincidental. So,
Right.
what is that? What is that level? You would just look at what that level was at, 92.90. When you go run your intraday and see, maybe you're watching as that's coming. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Opened here, came down, comes down, down, down. Yeah, you can't buy it there. I guess here is where I'm confused. All the way down on 92.15. Is that what it said on the daily chart? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I bet you there's some people who got burned in here. You get these down moves, you get this nice hammer candle, you buy this green candle right here, and then it's red candle, and it can't get through VWAP. And then that's them giving up right here. But then buyers found value here. So this is sort of like you gotta maybe start paying attention once it gets through VWAP here and above these 3 or 4 highs right here. I'd say that's where you can go in.
Yeah, it definitely because it took off after.
But you got to be, you probably want to trade this small, although you can have a really tight stop, because I would argue that if it gets below here, you're definitely wrong. Right. It's going lower, right? And right. Because these notice how these. I don't know if these are real candles or not. It seems odd that it would move that much. But there was a lot of volume on that candle, so that low on that one's probably real. But yeah, that's a great place for a stop, just below this, or just below that one right there.
Yeah, I don't have that candle on my chart.
It looks like that's pre-market.
Or like I'm looking at the pre-market as well.
Oh,
yeah, it could be.
You probably have what used to be called BATS data. So are you using TraderView?
Yeah. And
you've got the free data, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're using the CBOZ exchange. That exchange does about 10% of the volume, 10% of the entire.
I see what you're saying.
Exchanges do, right?
All right.
So yeah, you will get, and especially in the pre-market, there will be prints happen that you don't know about.
Oh, okay.
But once it's doing lots of volume, then you should see all of those prints. It's pretty close. And then what TradingView is supposed to do is they're actually supposed to back up and 24 hours later or whatever, fill in that data with real data.
Oh, really?
I actually see it on mine I think I'm paying the extra like $3 a month or whatever.
Yeah. I should pay the extra $3.
I think it's worth it because it gives you a much clearer. Usually, if you're trading like stocks that have decent volume like BABA, it's usually not an issue in regular trading hours. But what is an issue is you're not getting a real picture of volume either. And I've noticed because I don't pay for data on my TradingView account. Because I don't need to, right? And because I'm doing my trading, my real trading, I'm doing off of eSignal. So I have noticed, though, I've looked at it intraday and stuff, and I have noticed that the volume prints are radically different between the two.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So if it's only $3, it's worth it.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, it's just one of those things I didn't even realize, that I'm glad you guys brought up.
Yeah, I don't do like trades and things in TradingView, but I do like it to be able to chart out things and see things like that extra $3 is, I'm like, oh yeah, actually I appreciate it because I get the real time data for sure.
just gonna look and see if those weird prints are on mine. Yeah, I don't see them on mine. Wow, see, this is totally different. Crazy. I'm gonna bring this in here because I think this will be interesting. Everybody's watching the recording too. I think this will be interesting for them. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong day. Am I? No. Wait, that is 28th. 28th. Yeah, this is radically different here. Do this. I know. I'll do. Wow. Okay. And now, I'm gonna put these there. Oh, why did I do that? Sorry, guys.
Oh no, you're fine. Take it.
Oh, it's Zoom is like totally messing it up. There, that'll work. Yeah, see, so these it's possible that these are bad prints. But what time is that candle? 8 o'clock. 30, 35, 8 o'clock. So what does it show us for volume here? 59,000 on this one. $860,000. So this candle right here on eSignal is showing volume of 860,000, and on TradingView, it is saying that is 60,000. Crazy, eh?
Yeah, that is.
You can totally be missing a lot of price action in there.
Right.
And you can see how these, there's a big difference in the way these candles look than the way these candles look. Even if you ignore the two that might be outliers.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine too. My 5-minute chart. At the same time, it looks the same as yours.
Right. So yeah, that's important information. And then also when you get in this area here, oh, actually, what time does TradingView start? 7 o'clock. Yeah, right there. 7 o'clock is here. Yeah, even this first little bit in here looks different in here than here. There's not as much detail in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're doing any sort of pre-market trading or trying to get levels off of pre-market, then it's probably best that you have, real data that you actually have to pay for.
Okay.
And for basically for the U.S. markets, it doesn't cost that much. Not for U.S. equity markets anyway. So not until you get into commodities and futures and stuff, and some of the international markets, it can get quite expensive for data. So, yeah, TradingView is a great deal. The pricing is fantastic, especially considering it comes with almost all the data you could ever want.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely happy with it. And the Thanksgiving sale, Black Friday sales, amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Cool. Anything else we want to look at?
The only thing I would say I was going to ask you about was I actually stumbled on this because I was opening up TradingView and it just peeked at me. I was looking at a firm and it looks like it's building a nice, looking like it's building a nice little base off of that support there.
Yeah, wow, I expected this to see this at like an all-time low today.
I did too, but it definitely did the opposite direction, which is good, right? Because I'm like, if if the market is going to enter into a if the market is going to continue to have that support from the market, then this definitely could be a nice little quick swing. I mean, back up to like $14 or so could be.
Do you know about the Apple news?
No, I didn't hear the Apple news though. So I'm sure Apple is what they they're finally officially. I saw that they announced the developers conference, but I don't know if that's necessarily tied in with any other news financially wise. I know that there was rumors about them, finally getting into kind of their own financial services. I mean, outside of the credit card. But
Pay later.
Okay.
Right here, Apple announced Apple Pay Later.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. Okay.
That's why I expected this thing to kind of be in the toilet, but it's actually really surprising that. So if that was announced here, and look how much higher this closed today. That's really kind of surprising.
Yeah, almost like a little small of a flag at the end of the day.
This, yeah. I mean, this basically is closed at its highs, so that's not bad. But I mean, that's got to be a headwind for these guys.
Yeah.
And in a stock that's already so beaten down, on the one hand, I want to say, wow, if that didn't kill it, then there should be strength in this thing, and it probably will go up. On the other hand, it's like now they're competing against Apple. I think if I was going to buy this, even for just a swing trade, I would want to actually look a little closer at the Apple Pay Later thing and just see how much they actually compete with Affirm.
Got you. I will say that at Affirm trading right 10.50, and right now apparently I think it's it says 10.61 ish post mark. After hours is
okay.
So up a percent after hours. Yeah. I mean, trading this low. I mean, wouldn't this be a potential for somebody to come in and pick it up potentially and add that service? I mean, like a bigger company to come in and scoop them up possibly. I'm not sure their financials though, so I have to look.
Right. So what are they worth? They're worth 2.46 billion. And I mean, they're so beat down. I mean, you got it.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
That's a long way to glory. Back up, but yeah.
What? I mean, what would shareholders accept? Like, you got to think that shareholders would want at least up in here.
14, 14. Yeah.
I think anything less than that there's no way it gets past shareholders. And so why does somebody want to buy it though? If Apple is going into this space, who wants to jump in there now?
No, I got you. That makes sense.
So I guess long story short on this one, every day that it's not below this low is probably a good day.
Got you. Got you.
Like, I mean, it's trying to put in a double bottom here. I could totally see this be like the U bottom on this. And yeah, the fact that it didn't completely fall apart on this Apple news sort of gives me more confidence in here. But not enough confidence to go and buy this or play it.
Right.
This is not my style. My style is strength.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. That's helpful. I know I just had it on a list. I had it on one of my watch lists.
Yeah.
From at some point, And then I noticed that it's been, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, it's still just hanging out like building. But you're right, though, in terms of thinking about the other, like somebody like Apple for sure getting into that space. And what does it do for them?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what Apple, like I basically caught the Apple headline. Damn, this thing IPO'd at 92. Wow. So I don't know if they are rolling that out right now. I got the sense from the headline they were rolling it out right now.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try to look and find out too.
Yeah. So who else would want to get into that space? I guess what you would want to look at maybe is, okay, so if Apple's going to get in that space, does I don't know if Amazon does anything like. I don't think Amazon does anything like that right now, do they?
No, the only thing I know they offer, they just offer their the Prime card, but that's in partnership with Chase.
Okay.
So I don't think they have an internal
right
financial. I think the only thing that I remember Amazon really focusing on was trying to get inside of the healthcare. I mean, with the pharmacy.
Yeah.
No, that was the last thing I remember in terms of services was trying to get into the health sector.
They've been trying to do that for years.
Yeah, they have been.
Yeah, it's been a number of years, and there's been a couple of false starts and everything with that. Yeah, you'd think if Amazon was going to do it, they'd maybe probably even just develop it all in-house.
Right.
Than buy somebody. Unless somebody is so cheap. I don't know, maybe $2.5 billion is like way less than they would have to, than their development costs would be for them to build it in-house. I don't know. But yeah, I can't see who else would, other than maybe some of the banks or something, who else would want to buy this company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I appreciate it, Kevin, for sure.
No problem. Anything else we want to look at?
I think that's good, Kevin.
Yeah, I think that's
More than enough of your time. Thank you.
Not wasting my time. It's the 29th today. Oh, I got to do a new calendar. Let's see. We'll do another ticker talk next Wednesday.
Okay.
When is Easter? I gotta look at
not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Okay. That'd be like the 9th or something?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. The markets aren't closed on Good Friday, I think, are they? Or are they on?
Oh, market will be closed on Good Friday.
So then next Friday, the market will be closed.
Yeah, it will. Would it be next Friday? I
guess
so. Yes. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, but next week, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, so Holy Saturday, and then Easter on Sunday.
Okay. We'll do a ticker talk next Wednesday. I think we'll probably have lots of stuff to talk about. I think that this market is poised to do big things. I really think it's setting up for big things, and I think that maybe Friday is the PCE number on Friday is the catalyst to really make that happen. It's also, it could do bad things too. I just feel like there are so many stocks and charts I'm looking at that are on the edge of awesomeness. But the problem is that if they don't do awesome things, then they'll do really crappy things. It seems to me that we're at a real inflection point, and it's going to be really binary over the next couple of days, and probably on that PCE report. So watch out. And I talked about that a little bit in the market briefing that I posted today.
So yeah, I gotta definitely make sure I get back on it for sure.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. This was fun, and thank everybody who's watching. Hit that like button and subscribe. And we will see you all again soon.
Thanks, fellas. See you, Kevin.
All right, take care.